Howdy. It's been a couple weeks. I was really excited to just kind of jump back into some more, light and goofy stuff. And then I got really sick for a couple of weeks. So, whoops. Everything should be good now, so hopefully I get back into a better schedule. Real quick, I want to say thank you for the support on the last video. 100,000 views felt impossible. And I never thought my Clash of the Titans video would be beaten numbers, so really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and being here. Anyway, I'm gonna greet you for the second time, and you won't think anything of it. Howdy, and welcome back to a series I call But I Got the Wrong Version. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not gonna explain it. Now, to set the scene, picture me lying in bed at like 6 in the morning, wanting to watch a nice movie before I head to bed. Yes, my sleep schedule is that fucked. Thank you for asking. I haven't seen the Marvel movies in quite some time, and Thor's really calling my name. I mean, have you seen Chris Hemsworth? Have you? I need to have a stern talking with him. It's about Men in Black International. I mean, what the fuck was that? Unfortunately, I don't have access to Disney Plus, and I'm certainly not gonna pay for a subscription, so I turned to the only place that could fill the Chris-shaped hole in my heart. Tubi. Hey, it helped me once before, surely it can help again. And that's when I found it. Thor, End of Days. I was so excited. I didn't think I'd luck out again. So I got comfy and started the film. And then I was greeted with a different movie title? So, my apologies. I lied. It's not Thor, End of Days. It's actually God of Thunder. See, it says it right here on IMDb. Wait, 2015? No. Tubi said this was 2020. Tubi wouldn't lie to me like that, right? Oh, hold the fuck up. Why does this poster say Dark Universe? Is that the title of the movie? That's fine. It's perfectly normal for a movie to have multiple, oh my god, it's End of Days. Now you're probably wondering, hey, what the fuck is going on with these movies? Now, I found a post of a movie that dates back to 2017 under the title God of Thunder, and End of Days, according to multiple sources, was released in 2020, and with a trailer to boot. Here's the problem. They're the same movie. The same shots, audio, editing. The only thing that's changed is the poster. They don't even change the fucking intro graphic. My guess is that the movie, when it first released, didn't make any kind of impact in the slightest. So whoever had the rights to the film was just like, fuck it, let's just release it again. There were more than 3 times the amount of reviews, and way more people talked about End of Days than the original one. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was just another way to get the director another credit on IMDb. Why don't we go a little bit more into depth on the movie itself? The start of this movie is a little confusing. It begins with 2 men running on this bridge to some kind of portal, and behind them lands our main character, the Defender. I'm gonna call him Thor because it's easier for me, but nowhere in the movie is he referred to that, not even in the credits. We then cut to a woman running from some creepy man in a cloak. This is our villain, which is pretty obvious. I fucking hate that. Why can't the good guys look like this? Why they gotta be all hot and buff? Give me more ugly, edgy pro tags, please. This guy isn't ugly, by the way. Imagine I just go off on some guy you can hardly even see. Damn, what even are those? Regular ass eyebrows? Gross. This guy has a power that's crucial to literally every scene in this movie. He can mind control people in like a hive mind kind of way, which is a power that another villain by the same name uses in a certain well-known movie. Interesting. And it's not a mythology thing either. As far as I can tell, there isn't a weird blue mind control staff in Norse mythology. In the next scene, we meet a pair of lovebirds playing in a pool. Unfortunately, a man falling from the sky interrupts their weird little swimming session, and they end up bringing him into the house. Thor's fucking passed out in some ripped jeans? Bro, they got denim up in Asgard? I cannot wait to see his next MCU fit. Are you used to these characters? Too bad. They're fucking dead now. Thor gets away, and after wandering around the streets like he's cracked out of his mind, he gets arrested. My guy's been hitting that Yggdrasil a bit too hard, if you know what I'm saying.
It's because it's a tree.
They hit him with their car going like 30 miles an hour, and he's just fine? I guess he's just showing off those godly abilities. Because of course the god of thunder can handle wounds that even mere mortals wouldn't dare to dream of. This detainment doesn't last long, as our villain interferes with the transport. After a henchman punches the cop's window, steals a gun, shoots both cops multiple times, and starts to poorly shoot at Thor, the driver, who is still miraculously alive and conscious after like 5 point-blank shots to the upper body, decides that now is the perfect time to drive away. Smart. Get away just in time to die 15 seconds later. Thor, being locked up in the back of this soon-to-be-crashed car, breaks out of the zip tie they put him in and kicks the door open just in time to watch it crash. Now I want you to notice where it crashes. Really look close, okay? Got it? Now tell me what's wrong with this next scene.
So there's this huge crash, right? And when I look outside my window, the car's already at the bottom of the river.
Where the fuck's the river? Train tracks are rivers now, huh? I think someone didn't want to learn how to animate water physics. Our hero breaks into someone's house and experiences a Jimmy Neutron brain blast while looking in a mirror. These bursts of memory are like the only thing that explains anything going on in this movie, and they're cut so sporadically that it's just really overwhelming. I mean, hey, it's overwhelming for Thor too. I gotta give props to the team. That's really making me relate to the character. I don't wear jeans though, so not that much. Yeah, that's the main thing that sets me and this character apart. Uh-oh, the house that he broke into is inhabited by someone else? Who would have seen that coming? As the walking beacon of hell that he is, he attracts one of Loki's henchmen, and when they fight, he misses Thor with his gunshots, causing the lady to almost get hit by the stray bullets. On top of that, our protagonist decides that it would be best to kidnap her and hold her hostage to help him get away. Now what if I told you that this was the beginning of an incredible love story? It's not. Just a poorly written one. I want to comment on the fight scenes of this movie, and kind of a problem with the entire movie itself. The editing is rough. These fight scenes might have good choreography, but I wouldn't be able to see it because these cuts are moving at the speed of light. When you do get a shot that's longer than half a second, typically the action you'll see is either framed poorly or not interesting. Speaking of fighting, there's more. Freya has a chance to get away, and she ends up meeting her sister while she's running. But oh no, she's under Loki's control. And she's got a gun! Don't worry though, Thor's the god of thunder. There is no way a little handgun will stop him from... Oh. Yeah, no, he's down. Loki shows up, and instead of running away from him while he sucks the guard... Freya just stands there and screams for help. This isn't a horror movie. You can run. Thor confronts Loki and he gets his ass kicked as Freya takes her sister and books it. For some reason that is completely unknown to me, after he falls out of the building in front of her car, Freya tells him to get in. The rest of this movie goes by super quickly, but in the slowest way possible. The unlikely trio head north on some natural intuition that Thor has. Can I call it a trio if one of them's just completely unconscious and dying? They head to a convenience store, and before the police can find their vehicle, they swap cars with another guy. They stop for the night in a motel, and Freya makes the hard decision to not drive her sister up north with a stranger who's being chased by a magic man in a dark hood, and calls an ambulance to check her into a hospital. And the Sister of the Year award goes to... After this, the now brainwashed police hunt them down, not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. It's just non-stop chase after chase. It's almost like the filmmakers didn't know how to add actual plot to the scenes, so they just made intense chases and rough fight scenes to hit that 90-minute mark. After that, the 2 lovebirds over here have their first real scene of actual connection. I guess they really had to compensate for the movie almost being over because they immediately start cuddling in a bed in an abandoned cabin. Mind you, the next most impactful scene between these 2 characters is when Hot Boy takes his shirt off. Thor finds his hammer, which allows him to jump high, summon lightning, and not die to bullets. Loki, being the silly little trickster that he is, takes a page out of Thor's book and holds Freya hostage. This gives him the upper hand and he defeats Thor, and then immediately conquers the world. I don't see why he couldn't do that before, but sure, go off. For no reason at all, Thor wakes up, is green screened poorly, and beats the shit out of Loki. Freya's sister wakes up, and to cap it off, the worst setup couple in cinema history kiss. This movie is so weird to me, because there is competence to be found here, just not enough. I have to start with the acting because it's bad. There's no way to sugarcoat it, it's not good. The line deliveries are especially rough. The voice of Thor sounds like LaCroix Chris Hemsworth with a dash of Chris Evans thrown in.
Have you been hurt? Are you injured?
Speaking of lines, the audio is really awkward. I don't know if it was like redubbed or the mixing was off.
Oh, Dad, you're breaking up. I'm going through a tunnel. Okay, you know what? I'll call you back. I love you. Bye.
That also translates to some of the sounds made by objects in the movie. Some of the camera work is kinda interesting, but the editing just makes everything feel off. I know I said something about the effects earlier, but they're not that bad. Shitty green screen is shitty green screen, but some of the effects are pretty okay. Although, maybe the director thought it was too good because the amount of shots on the brainwashed character's eyes is crazy. You know, I thought this would be like a fan movie or a foreign ripoff, or at the very most, some rich guy's midlife crisis project. But it was made by a company with a budget of $1.5 million? Why? There was no reason to do this. Anyway, that's it. I give Thor, God of End of Dark Thunder Universe, a 3. What a movie, man. Thank God there weren't actually 2 of them, because I don't think I could have sat through another... No.